Today I want to show you 10 things that I wish I knew about Borderlands 4 before I started playing. So let's go. I can't believe I'm starting one of these videos off with specs. So go to your options and we're going to change some of the visuals. And that is to get a better performance. And I'm someone who likes to put my texture quality on very high. And I also like to have my post-process quality on high or very high. I'm actually going to put that up now that I know this one. But the reason why your FPS is dropping is because of all of the volumetrics. So turn all of the volumetrics down to low and your FPS will increase massively. So volumetric fog, cloud, and cloud shadows. And literally disable cloud shadows. It was the same in Ark. I don't know if any of you guys have ever played Ark Survival Ascended, but if you turn the cloud off in Ark, you actually got good performance. And yeah, I also have DLSS on at the moment. I have balanced. So I was using performance, but not necessary. And I was using the quality, but I was actually, ironically, the game was fine, but my videos that I was watching in the background on YouTube were like pausing. Any streams I was watching were stuttering. Let me know what you think of the performance in the comment section. The next thing I want to show you is the Respec machine. Now the Respec machine will be available in any major area that you have a safe house, and it looks like that. So it's a little bit weird. Like I don't know why the Respec machine is hiding like that. Anyway, if you go over to it, it'll expand and it'll turn into this cool looking thing. And then you click on the Respec so that you go in here. And as you saw, that cost me 41,000 to do. So it's going to cost you a lot of money to get into this Respec machine. And when you're in here, you can respec all, or you can respec one specific thing, or you can respec one tree, for example. So I have 5 points in rinse, for example. So if I was to press delete instead of holding delete, I could just, as you can see, I can get my 5 points back, and that way I don't have to do all 21 points over here as well. While we're in here, I want to move on to our next point, and that is class mod benefits. So unlike in the first game, class mod benefits work if you don't have points in the skill tree itself. So I have 3 of 5 here, as you can see, but I have none of my own points in this. That class mod is still working, so I'm still getting 3 points of overdrive skill. Rafa regenerates ammo while overdrive is active. Now, I don't actually have to activate that in order to like get that point, which is kind of cool. So down here as well, I have +3 from a class mod, but I do have points in this one. So it's 6 of 5, so I have even more overdrive duration. So the class mods in this game are overpowered, and unfortunately, whenever I get a class mod, it's always for the wrong character. The game thinks that I'm constantly using every other character than I actually am. And if you want to equip class mods, you just come in here to your inventory, and you come down here to your class mods, and you can see which ones you have. I have this one, I have a few in the bank as well. But they're not for this character. And you can see along the top which skills you get benefits from. So +3, +3, +1. Plus I get extra energy shield regeneration rate and action skill duration, which is huge for my build. Just like in the last game, there is Underbarrel in this game as well. And most people will know this just by playing, but I just wanted to point it out in case you don't already know. So if you look at the bottom right of your screen, you will see I have 20 bullets, and under that it'll be assault rifle mode. So I'm currently in assault rifle mode, and that's great. But if I press C, I change it to the underbarrel, and now I'm in SMG mode, which with this particular gun that I'm using is insane. So this is one of the coolest things about this game. Borderlands 3 had it as well, but the underbarrel modes were a bit crap. I mean, there was very little variety. Now there's a lot of variety. So one gun can be an SMG and one gun can be an assault rifle. For example, this gun here I have in Cinderary, and then if I press the other barrel, it changes to shock. So you can change up which element you're using if you use the underbarrel. So use it constantly during fights. And that's my next tip. Onto the elements. So this is an element screen. Make sure you take a screenshot of this if you don't already have it, and it will show you the differences between the elements in Borderlands 4. Now, we're already going to look at hard because that's what most people should be playing if you want the best loot, and hard mode isn't even that hard in this game, trust me. And you guys can look at easy or normal depending on which one you're at. So kinetic energy, which is pretty much without anything, just like a normal Jacobs that doesn't have any element on it. 100% damage for hard mode for flesh, shield, and armor. And armor is the yellow one, by the way. I don't know why it's green here, but it's yellow. I mean, sometimes there's green enemies or green armor, but it's mostly yellow in the game. When you have fire damage, you do 175% damage to flesh, and you do 50% damage to shield, 50% to armor. Pretty much if you're using the wrong element, it's always going to be 50% in hard mode, and it'll be very high in the correct one. So if you see somebody with red health, in your fire damage is going to do 175 damage. Now, if we move to shock, shock does 50% damage to flesh. You're going to lose half of your damage to flesh. You're doing 175% damage to shield, and you're doing 50% to armor. Then you have corrosive, which is going to do 50% damage to flesh, and it's going to do 50% damage to shield, but 175 damage to armor. Cryo is pretty much against flesh, normal damage, 100%, same as kinetic. It does 50% damage to shield and 150% to armor. So cryo is a really good one. Just don't use it against shields if you can, unless you have a really good cryo weapon. And then radiation is the same. Radiation is always really good because this one is going to be 100% against flesh, against red health, against blue health. It's going to be 150% damage, and against yellow health, it's going to be 50%. I want to show you how to respawn bosses. If you have killed a boss that you want to start farming it for some weapons and armor, then you go to one of these Pango Bango Moxie's Big Encore and you pay the money. It scales slightly, so it'll go up the higher level you are and the more money you have. And now you can go and take on bosses. So I've already killed this boss 4 or 5 times, and I'm looking for a particular item from this boss. This location, by the way, is right here. So you have makeshift chalet here, and slightly over to the east, you have this little oil area, this oil refinery. The location is called Tender Cage, and especially if you're using Rafa, there's a good pistol and a good sniper rifle that you can get from this boss. And this boss that is in this giant skull is also really good in general. It's a missable boss, and it's one of the cooler side bosses in the game, in my opinion. So if you want to get cool side bosses, make sure you come here. And if you're looking for makeshift chalet itself, green area is just here. So you exit the green area as you're coming up the north road, and then on the left you have your makeshift chalet. You can't miss it as long as you stick to this left side of the map and you start driving up. And you'll be doing a lot of natural exploring anyway, so you'll find this. But this is how you respawn enemies. Gambling in Borderlands 4 is done in Moxie's Bar. And you have to insert tips into this jug. A big old tip is 1,000. And you're pretty much guaranteed to get yourself a legendary if you do this. So it's not as fun as the slot machines, but at least you're guaranteed a legendary. When you have put enough in here, hearts will start coming up, and she'll give you a legendary weapon. Now, to be clear, sometimes you'll get a legendary weapon for 5,000. Sometimes it's going to take you 30,000. Sometimes it's going to take you 100,000. Be patient, and hopefully you're rich enough for this. Don't forget to respawn bosses. As I mentioned earlier, you need cash as well. So don't spend all your cash on this, or you won't be able to grind for your favorite weapons in the game. And I'm going to start spamming this because I ain't getting anything here. Come on. Give me the hearts. Give me the hearts. As soon as we get the hearts, I'll stop. This video is costing me all of my gold, guys. I'm after spending 30,000 on this so far. Hopefully, she gives me a legendary soon. I don't want to spend all this gold on a bad legendary that's only level 27. By the way, Moxie will come over and hand you the weapon. As I said, hearts will come out. The things I do for you guys, I am literally doing this for your benefit. I've spent 50. There we go. The hearts have come out. So she'll come over and she'll give me my gun. Where is she? Oh, there she is. And it's crap. And that brings us on to my next tip, which I can show you immediately. We go to inventory and we go to our backpack and we have a look at our brand new weapon. I'd recommend searching by level for most things, just so you can see your newest weapons. This one does have some good stuff on it. It has some good flavor text on it. You've been smooching with everybody. I might give it a try. It's 344 DPS. What's my current DPS on this gun? 650 DPS. Yeah. That was a lot of gold, as I said. Anyway. So what I'm actually trying to show you, one of my pet peeves of the game is it always brings you back to sort by manufacturer. Please change that, Borderlands devs. It really needs to stay on what you clicked on it earlier. And what I want to do is I want to click on this. I want to right click on this and click on bank. So that way I'm putting it into the bank. Now you could put items into the bank from anywhere in the game. You don't actually have to go to a bank to put the items away. Now you have to go to the bank to collect them, but you don't have to go there to put them in. So send items to bank, hold down V. That item has now been sent to the bank, which means I have more space down here for new items. So that is my next tip, banking from anywhere. So I'm going to show you really quickly how to slam. To slam, you have to double jump, not single jump, and then press the crouch button in order to do a downward slam. A lot of people have been wondering about that one and asking me. So just wanted to double check that you know how to do this. It's double jump, not single jump. I'd also recommend turning on the radar at the top right of the screen. And you do that by going into gameplay. And you want to go from compass to radar. That way there'll be a radar at the top right of your screen, which will show you where the enemies are, show you if the enemies are behind you. If you're doing it with compass only, then you're going to have a bad time. So make sure you change that as soon as you can. Make sure you get radar on. So thank you very much for watching today's video. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know what you think of Borderlands 4, and I'll see you guys in the next video.